Hello friends, my name is Anurag Jain and I'm a developer advocate at Thales Group. In this part, and this is the second part of the series, in this part we are going to delve a bit deeper into this Thales CipherTrust collection. We are going to look into some of more complex playbooks where you can perform group operations or where you can perform a set of operations to configure a connector like Thales Data Protection Gateway or DPG. So in this particular video, we are going to create a playbook. We are going to walk through how a playbook would look like if you want to configure a data protection gateway using Ansible. So let's get started. So in the part one of this particular series, we installed Ansible Collection and we saw how you can use that collection to perform simple operations like creating a group. In this part we are going to take that a bit further. We are going to look into another playbook which can configure CipherTrust Manager for a connector like data protection gateway, right? So if you are leveraging data protection gateway in your environment, and if you are looking to automate configuring data protection gateway while deploying it, so you can leverage the Sensible collection. I have created a sample playbook for this, and again, that particular playbook is available uh, on this very same repository. So this is the setup DPG sample is the one, uh, and that's the one which we are going to look into today. So, as part of this particular playbook, you can perform some of the operations, and I will post a link as part of the video description for Thales docs on how you can configure data protection gateway using CipherTrust Manager UI. But since we are using, or doing this configuration through Ansible playbook, so these are the tasks that you can use. So, you can create the required secret or key, and you can define things like algorithm on the key size, those kind of things. You can create the NAE interface which is being used by that DPG instance. You can create other things like creating the character set, the protection policy, the user set, access policies, DPG policy, and finally the client profile. So these are the steps, and again, I mean, if you go through the Thales docs, you will understand how step-by-step configuration of DPG works. And in that case, this particular playbook will make more sense. But these are basically the steps that you need to perform on CipherTrust Manager to make a data protection gateway instance work with that CipherTrust Manager, right? So, yeah, we are going to run this sample playbook. But before doing that, I'm using a variable file where I've defined all the parameters, and that variable file, a sample variable file you can find here. So dpg.yaml. Pretty much, I'm leveraging the same configuration, except that I have changed the information related to my CipherTrust Manager. So let's go back and run this. So, again, at the back end, it is talking to CipherTrust Manager to create the key, to create that NAE interface, character sets, protection policy, user sets, access policies. It failed at user because, user already exists. So it didn't create it because I added explicitly that ignore error is true. It didn't stop the execution over there because even if the user exists, I can add the same user to the user set. But yeah, if we go back to our CipherTrust Manager instance and application data protection, you should see a client getting registered over here with the same information or with the same configuration which was defined as part of the uh, playbook parameters, right? So if you go to protection policies, access policies, all the relevant assets have been created and configured accordingly. So if you are using Ansible in your environment to deploy your applications, and if you want to leverage the same environment to deploy Thales connectors as well, like data protection gateway. You can use these modules as part of this collection to configure CipherTrust Manager as well, so that in a single playbook you can completely automate the deployment and configuration of these connectors, right? And we have I've provided a sample playbook here to clean everything as well. I mean, if you are done with your changes, or if you just ran this playbook to dry run few things, you can easily delete all these configurations again through a single playbook. So I'm going to in this particular playbook, I'm just removing all those configurations which the previous playbook did in the very reverse order, right? So if I run this, it should go ahead and delete everything which was created by the previous script. And if I go back to CipherTrust Manager, and if I go to the applications and protection policies, everything is clean. So this way, you can easily manage your different environments. You can try a few things using some of these sample playbooks, and you can even perform additional things by following or by using other modules as well. So yeah, thanks for listening in. And if you like, please like or subscribe this video. And we will talk about more such modules and upcoming collections or modules in future videos. But for today, the idea was to showcase how you can leverage Ansible playbooks with Ansible Collection for Thales CipherTrust Manager to automate some of these configuration tasks. Thank you so much for listening in.